Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened one. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in this ongoing meditation sessions, we are mainly trying to share some basic informations with you to develop a very clear, good, strong spiritual foundation with practicing meditation. So when it comes to the very word, the meditation, and nowadays it has many meanings. But if we go to the very beginning of the meditation related to the Buddha's teaching, there is a word called bhavana. So that's the Pali word. So the bhavana translates to English as meditation. So even though we take that word to explain the word called bhavana, actually the Pali word, its mean is cultivation. Cultivation of your mind with profitable skills. So then it's not about kind of like just repeating something, thinking about something, and visualize something. So you have to develop your mind with profitable skills. And one of the main important thing need to develop in our mind to get out all these unnecessary thoughts. Before we bringing something new, the very first thing we have to do, we already have certain things in us. So this is what we have to understand. Having that all unnecessary, unprofitable skills, you can't bring some profitable skills. You can do that, but it's not going to work properly. So then the very first thing you have to remember, we are already carrying some kind of ignorance within us. That's why we keep perform that kind of unprofitable skills, unwholesome actions. So then stopping it is the very first thing. And as you know, it's for yourself that you know if there are any kind of bodily, verbally, mentally actions that you perform, it bringing some kind of unprofitable result, then it is better to stop it. But most of the time, what we try to do, we are trying to cover it up from some other things. And still we want to keep doing whatever that unprofitable action. So it's one thing is that we have deeper attachment to that, our own inner feelings. So there is a mechanism in our mind. So when it comes to practice meditation, that's why the tranquility meditation allow you in the very first level to detach from this unprofitable actions, or unplug your mind from this unwholesome action, or untangle, because the mind is always get tangled with thoughts. That is how this keep happen, this existence happen. So tranquility state allow you to untangle. And once the mind become free from unwholesome actions, so you are capable to recognize things very clearly. So that is where you get out of the ignorance. So this is a mistake that we do. Without cleaning our mind from unwholesome actions, we try to develop our wisdom. So that wisdom we mean kind of like knowledge, information. But here the wisdom means deeper. By mind, you recognize things as it is, without manipulating with your own ideas, own thoughts, with your own desires, with your own will, with your own interest. So, then if you practice little by little, so the very beginning, what you need to do, you have to look into yourself and stop things that yourself, whatever you keep performing, that bringing unwholesome result. So this happened because of the ignorance. That ignorance has a reason. That ignorance maybe came from our previous lives. So because that's why we are here. If we didn't have the ignorance for a certain level, we are not going to be here. So then we have to remember that our existence itself is the result of ignorance. And at the same time, we had some kind of wisdom also. So that's why we became human beings. So then now you have to see how to reduce that whatever the ignorance and uplift your wisdom that you carry. So because of this ignorance, what happens? We develop mental formations, accumulating, developing cankers, little by little with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind experience. So whatever you see, if you don't tangle with it, it's not going to become some kind of canker. So the mental formation. So whatever you hear, smell, taste, if it is just a moment of experience, and if you don't think on the top of that experience, then it's not going to become a memory. So the sanskara means we developing our mind with the experience and reminding, thinking again and again about that what we experience. And then when you do that way, what happens? You start to like it or you start to dislike it. Attachment or resistance. So If you have the attachment, then you go towards it. And if you have a resistance, that whatever, that dislike becomes stronger, stronger, stronger. And so in both ways, we develop the existence. The both ways, we cannot get out of it. And even if we don't have the attachment or the resistance, and if we keep it kind of like a let it be mood, like a neutral, then it because of the ignorance. Because that neutral moment has ability to transform into like or dislike. So once we have the attachment, we hold it, clinging to it and grasping. And if we resist something, then we have the anger, hatred. See that it's somehow we always get into the existence again and again and again. So that's why understanding this is a skill, and you have to have some kind of energy within yourself, and you have to have some kind of balance to gain this. Because this is, you can understand by observing, recognizing your own inner behavior. And by arguments, you can't understand this. Just simply by observing, observing, observing. And before you go into that level, there are 3 other steps that you have to develop. One is called the Shrutame Jnana, and having openness and listening and allowing the wisdom outside the Paratogos Jnana, that whatever other people say, whatever the wise people told about this, you have to have the ability to listen to it and accept it. You have to have the confidence, you have to have the trust to accept that. So that's the beginning point. But when you have the ignorance, it not allow you to do that. Why? Because ignorance say, oh, I know this. What I know is the right. Don't listen to anything. Listen to just the whatever I say. So your ego or your inner voice always say, I know everything. Don't worry about it. I used to be like this, even though things went wrong, I know everything. So then keep listening to me. And then you believe that voice. And even things go wrong, still, you don't want to question that voice. Still, oh, it's okay, next time. So like that, always, that whatever the voice come from inside, you believe. That is the power of ignorance. So then how you can get out of it? And start to be open. Willing to change that what you know. Because the change, once you have the will to change, that is the beginning of success, or that is the beginning of wisdom. So then think about it. Even in a conventional world, if you are not willing to change yourself, how are you going to grow? So growing means what? Growth means what? Development means what? Change. So then, are we ready to change that what we know? So that's why start to listen, start to read, and have a kind of like a network, build up a network, around you with the people who can communicate with the same kind of language, understanding. That's very necessary. So there are more facilities today, more than any other time for that. So rather than always gossiping, blaming to others and finding some faulties and talking about mistakes and always talk about negativity, and start to build up a mindset. Always you follow something more higher. And you are always willing to uplift yourself. And that's very necessary for you. Because otherwise, with this social media, with this communication era, with this information era, if you allow other people to put anything to your head, your head is kind of like a garbage can. It's a kind of like a trash can. It's not even like at your home. It's kind of like a public place, trash can. At home, your own people put something, but in a public place, you don't know. Anybody come, everybody come and, put everything there. So sometimes today, our cell phone, our computer, iPad, TV, sometimes this is what we allow to do it to ourselves. We put all the trash to us from around the world. See, then your mind go crazy. No wonder why you go crazy, because always you are the one who allowing. Why? Because we have ignorance. So then filter. That's why you have to have the awareness. And when you have the will to change with the higher purpose, so it kind of like a filtering information. So whatever around you, people, the informations, the things you recognize, this is not for me. This is not for me. And you will move away from it. That is very necessary. Information. So or the people, or whatever the TV channels you watch, or whatever the people you follow on social medias, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you follow, you become like that later. So then find something more higher. So there are things. It is your choice. And then what will happen when you continue with that? Chintame jnana, it will help you to recognize that whatever inside you and whatever you gain the knowledge that from outside, and the difference, and you are capable to apply it to your life and understand more deeply. Bhavana mein jnane, by the time you are capable to absorb it and transform through it. So that's a process that you go through the liberation or the transformation. So then remember the very first building block, this all we experience because of the certain kind of ignorance. Accept it. Another thing is, with that ignorance, when we keep tangled with thoughts, we go into more and more and more ignorance. And then that is where we clinging to things. And not only the clinging and grasping, and then top of that, we again recreate it, remodel it, rebuild it. And that is what finally come as the existence. So then in the world, in the moment of experience, when you see something, when you hear something, in that very moment of experience, there is no ignorance. There is no cankers or the mental formations. There is no desire. There is no clinging. There is no existence. But with that moment of experience, once we start to think about it, that everything manifests. So the intention, so the behind your thinking, whatever the intention, can take you to more higher or lower. So now you see the mechanism of the mind, from where this comes. So then always, when the intention comes related to I am, me, my, like that, it always keeps things hard for us. And end of the day, most of the time we get disappointed, unhappy, sad, worry. Why? Because this unknown, unseen, I am, we hold as imagination. And that imagination become the very epicenter of your decisions. So it is not real. So what you are, what you think about you as who you are is not real. This head to toes, that whatever that you experience as your thoughts, your name, your body, your consciousness, that what you think about it is not you. But out of that, your point of view regarding you, you take all the decisions. So that is see that how the ignorance start. Because this all changed by itself. That's why you have to observe. That's why you have to be slowed down. That's why you have to be silent. Because that is where you can experience that change. And once you experience that change, you're not going to take decision based on that idea. And that is where you start to take decisions according to necessary cause and conditions in that environment. That's where you develop the flexibility and adaptivity. And then you become formless. Your mind get out of this formless, get out of this form, get out of this name. And that is where your moment of experience become formless, nameless. And that is the very nature of the Nibbana. You have the experience, but out of that moment of experience, you don't keep thinking. You don't develop any names or forms. It's just a moment of experience. That is the ultimate bliss. But we are addicted to memory. Memory is kind of like a drugs for us. You know, the most of time for people now, like early morning, it's like people start the day with drugs. During the day, eating means for some people, it's kind of like taking drugs. Drugs here means this, not a kind of like this intoxicate things, but the pharmaceutical products like medications. Early morning, during the day, and sometimes before we sleep. Most of the time, we take some kind of tablets. So tablets now, it's become kind of like our morning prayers. Tablets became kind of like our lunch table prayer. The tablets become kind of like our evening prayer before we go to sleep. And so that we addicted to it. So like that, we addicted to memory. When you wake up, we wake up with memory. During the day, whatever we do, we addicted to certain kind of memory. We mesmerized from that memory, and we keep thinking about it. And maybe when other people come together, we talk about it. And then when we go to sleep, we go to sleep with the memory. So then look yourself, where the time for you to experience now, this moment, because you caught up, you mesmerized with memory. This is what the understanding itself, the beginning of wisdom. Not a magic, not a kind of like a supernatural power. To understand and get out of this memory and be in the moment. But sometimes it's kind of like without memory, some people don't understand how to live. And that's why most of the time we keep collecting memory. Look at 10, 20 years back, 20 years back, like, early 90 and late 80 or like 70s, during that time, musical shows, drama or the movie, or go to public events, parade, you watch anything. You go there, you really enjoy it. You go to musical show, you go there, you enjoy it. But now, look at when you go to a place, when you go to public events, people don't watch the real time, that event. What they do, everybody recording. Everybody have phone, iPhone, cell phone in their hand and keep recording. This is the addictive, this reality, this we addicted to memory. We live with that. And then when you go home, you forget. And then you start to watch that what you record. Why you have to do? Because you buy the ticket and you went there and you had the real time in the event. Enjoy it. When you go home, you have husband, wife, children, friends and family. You're home. So enjoy that. So like that. Why you need the memory to depend on that? Because this is what called samsara. This is what called existence. This is what called clinging. This is what called desire. This is what called mental formations. This is what called cankers. This is what called ignorance. Nothing else. So then, look into yourself and see. The very meaning of living means for you, depending on memory or letting go of memory and being in the moment. It's up to you. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Supat Veva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. and upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. Also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chamihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhamma nu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.